ReactJS. Does render get called anytime setState is called? Does React re-render all components and subcomponents every time setState is called? If so, why? I thought the idea was that React only rendered as little as needed when state changed. In the following simple example, both classes render again when the text is clicked, despite the fact that the state doesn't change on subsequent clicks, as the onClick handler always sets the state to the same value. I would have expected that renders would only happen if state data had changed. Here's the code of the example. Does React re-render all components and subcomponents every time setState is called? By default, yes. There is a method boolean should component update, object next props, object next state. Each component has this method and it's responsible to determine should component update. Run render function every time you change state or pass new props from parent component. You can write your own implementation of the should component update method for your component, but default implementation always returns true, meaning always rerun render function. Quote from official docs. By default, should component update always returns true to prevent subtle bugs when the state is mutated in place. But if you are careful to always treat the state as immutable and to read only from props and state in render, then you can override should component update with an implementation that compares the old props and state to their replacements. Next part of your question. If so, why? I thought the idea was that React only rendered as little as needed when the state changed. There are two steps of what we may call render. Virtual DOM renders. When render method is called, it returns a new virtual DOM structure of the component. As I mentioned before, this render method is called always when you call setState, because should component update always returns true by default. So, by default, there is no optimization here in React. Native DOM renders. React changes real DOM nodes in your browser only if they were changed in the virtual DOM and as little as needed. This is that great React's feature which optimizes real DOM mutation and makes React fast. Thanks for watching. Subscribe to learn JavaScript. We have a number of awesome tutorials in the works.